Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I am bringing to you, yes, surprise, surprise, more games from IEM Kiev, and spawning here in the top left position of Antiga Shipyards as the green Protoss, we have the famous Warcraft 3 player, Grubby. His opponent spawning in the top right position as the red Terran playing from Team Empire, we have Kas. So this is going to be a TVP here on Antiga Shipyards, and this is going to be Game 1 of a best of 3 that was played in Group B of the group stages of IEM Kiev. Hope you guys stick around for the entire best of 3 because I am hoping for an exciting series here. Kas, very, very good European Terran player. Grubby, really, really good European Protoss player. So we have two of the best Terran and Protoss players going at it right now, head-to-head on Antiga Shipyards. Grubby, known for doing a wide variety of styles. Almost every time I watch his stream, I am almost always entertained with the unique builds, and he comes up with very, very unique things. He's not one for just following whatever is most popular at the time. He likes to come up with very unique, very strong, very well thought out builds on his own. And I find that his planning and his execution tends to just be really, really good, and that's just what wins him matches, is because his play just generally tends to be really, really smart, really, really well organized, very, very well thought out timing. It always seems very deliberate when I watch Grubby. It never feels like he's just kind of doing things on the fly. It always feels like all of his builds have a very, very specific purpose, and they all are carried out so well because Grubby is just such a good player. Kas on the, not to downplay Kas at all. Kas is an amazing macro style player. I have seen him do some amazing macro games in the past, seen him do some very good mech games recently. If you check out his stream at all, from time to time I'll see him go mech against Protoss, which is always a treat to watch. Still not too many players doing that yet, just because it hasn't really been fully fleshed out yet. Goody, of course, one of the big players known for doing a lot of meching against Protoss players, doing very well in the mech realm of playing, and it looks like Kas is actually going to be opening here with a barracks followed by a quick factory. Are we going to be seeing that famed 1-1-1 against Grubby in this game? That is a very, very strong build that a lot of Terran players have been using against Protoss players for quite a while now. Very highly popularized by the Korean player Puma, who was very famous for his 1-1-1 at one point in time. Now it looks like Grubby has opened by getting a pretty fast Nexus here, following just one gateway, no gas, so it looks like that was just one gate expand right away, and he managed to produce one Zealot out of that one gateway that he's going to use to try to apply some pressure on his opponent. And Kas has no supply depot here at the front, no barracks at the front either, so it looks like this only one Marine is going to be able to go down pretty quick here, and Grubby starting to focus down workers, Kas actually having to pull SCVs to trap that Zealot, and it looks like he's actually taking a few worker losses here, as he's even using this probe to fight right now, and that was actually 3 workers killed here for Grubby, and at this stage of the game, 3 workers is a lot. Wow, he actually even gets a 4th worker there by having that SCV up, but the first Hellion does now pop out and is going to be cleaning up that probe. This barracks does have a reactor now down on it, so he's going to be double producing those Marines. In the meantime, this scout SCV is going to be getting into Grubby's base, scouting out that fast expansion, as this Hellion is going to be getting here into this base very shortly. And is Grubby mainarding workers? That is going to be a big question here, as if he does, he's going to have a Hellion to have to deal with. Hellions, of course, take down probes in 3 shots, as long as there's not too long of a gap between those 3 shots to give that probe too much time to regenerate its shields. And as we can see, that Hellion doing a pretty good job of picking off a couple of probes right now. Looks like so far only, 2 have been taken out there. One was the one that was in the base, the other was the one that was just taken out here. But these Hellions, oh no, one does actually get up into the main. Grubby throwing down pylons to block that Hellion from doing too much more damage. This Zealot and Stalker trying to track down this one Hellion, but in the meantime, keep in mind this Hellion down here is also getting a few kills of its own. 4 kills on that Hellion, 2 kills so far on this Hellion. So far, these Hellions are being an extremely effective harass. 9 workers killed here for KAS, denying so much mining time, forcing Grubby to pull those workers off the line for so long. And so far, KAS has done a fantastic job of denying mining time here from Grubby. And that actually did even out the worker count by just a bit, because Grubby was quite ahead there, I believe, for a while. But now, evening it out, 22 harvesters to 19, though most of you will say that no, 22 does not equal 19. I will counter that argument with, but KAS has those mules, which count as, oh my goodness, I forget the number. Is it 4? 5 SCVs? 5 SCVs? Does it count as 5 SCVs at once? I believe that is the number. I could be mistaken on that. I'm going to have to go look that up again, because that is actually a critical little bit of information that you always want to keep in mind. And oh no, in the meantime, there's a drop going on in the main base of Grubby, as Grubby is once again forced to pull all of his SCVs off the line, and they are now going down into the natural expansion. And oh no, there are 2 Hellions actually moving up the ramp right now as Grubby moves all of his forces to deal with this drop. These Hellions are going to do so much damage, and so much damage that my computer is going to start to lag balls, apparently, as now these Hellions are picking off more kills, more probes are going down as my computer continues to lag for some reason. I apologize for all that lag. I have no idea why that lag is so bad, but Grubby is losing so many workers. 17 workers killed so far. That is bringing the probe count to the other way around. That just swapped from 22 to 19. It is now 19 to 22. As Grubby is now being forced to chrono boost workers, as any timings that Grubby may have had are now just completely ruined, as now he's got a warp gate that's unpowered that he's going to have to get up another pylon on that warp gate here very shortly so that he can start to produce out of it once again. In the base of KAS, we do see that he did indeed go for the 111, and that is how he was able to get up that drop so quickly. Now we do see that a Banshee is now coming out for KAS, as well as the cloaking field, as well as a second Banshee here. And is there any detection in the base of Grubby? No, it looks like there is no forge, so that means there are not going to be any cannons at all, and there is no robotics facility yet either, so he is not going to be able to have any kind of detection for a while. And Grubby there just spots the Banshee. How is he going to be responding to this? There's the forge now going down here for Grubby, but Grubby has got to be sweating just a little bit right now, as he has just realized that he has no way of knowing whether this Banshee has cloak, and if it does, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. As we can see, in the meantime, KAS is producing Marines and siege tanks back home as he throws up another barracks and continues to harass with this one Banshee. Managed to do a little bit of damage to that pylon, but that is all but very soon. Cloak is about to be finishing here. The second Banshee is now done for KAS, and now that is going to mean that he can harass 2 mineral lines simultaneously, and still no cannons going down yet for Grubby. There is none going on at either base. There we go. There's one cannon now being thrown down by Grubby, but that first Banshee is now in. It is now cloaked and starting to pick off stalkers, and in the meantime, there's another Banshee at the front starting to pick off the sentry that does go down. There's only one cannon that is going up right now, but KAS does not even care right now. He's just going to use this time to try to pick off as many probes as he can, and I think that is a brilliant move there by KAS. A lot of players will opt to just try to focus down this photon cannon as quickly as they can, but instead, KAS is just going to be poking in, doing a lot of economic damage, and then just pulling right back out again. Notice that this Banshee over here is also picking up a few kills so far. 4 kills on that Banshee, 3 kills on this one, bringing the total numbers of workers killed for KAS up to 20, now taking a huge food lead from his opponent, 44 food to 70 right now. He is still on one base, but Grubby hasn't been able to make use of this other base at all. Notice he's even starting to get so flustered as he's not even using that chrono boost anymore on his units, as he really needs to start pumping in a lot more units. We need to get some more photon cannons out onto the field. Looks like one Banshee does finally go down here, so Grubby does manage to pick one off, but the other one is still at full health, and he is now just generating a lot of energy. And oh my goodness, the scary push now coming out from KAS. Those Banshees were, of course, just there to weaken his opponent and force him to produce photon cannons that he really would not want to produce, and now he's going to come with the killing blow. Lots of SCVs now being pulled off the line. He can, of course, afford to do this. He can afford to lose a lot of these workers as he has just been so far ahead. Grubby is ahead in harvesters right now, but that is only because he's been chrono boosting out workers right now to try to get his worker supply up. But KAS has been mining for so much longer consistently with mules, and oh, beautiful force fields going down by Grubby as he manages to pick off a lot of SCVs. 2 photon cannons are at the front right now. Siege mode is just about to be completed. It is not done quite yet, but this Banshee doing doing quite a good bit of harassment for Kos, and Kos, does he have the scan? Yes, he does have a scan, so he can siege up on the low ground, scan up onto the high ground, and no, or he can just use that Banshee to give him sight up onto the high ground, making those photon cannons completely useless. Once those go down, he can just continue to move in with all of his Marines and SCVs, and oh, that is a scary looking force here from Kos, as he's currently up 81 food to 67. Reinforcements are being rallied directly into the base of Grubby, and now Grubby's supply block losing that pylon and cannot produce anything despite having 4 warp gates that are up and ready to go producing units. Grubby is just going to engage here with nothing, no workers to come with him, and he's gonna just lose that game. Holy cow. Grubby getting taken down by the brilliant, well planned out build of Kos, doing so much economic damage with those early Hellions, then with those Banshees, just keeping his opponent on that back burner non-stop, able to take Game 1 easy peasy. Now we are going to be jumping into Game 2 of Grubby versus Kos from IEM Kiev to see if Grubby can get a win and force this to Game 3. So stick with me, guys. Game 2 of Grubby versus Kos in just a moment.